Look at your dog. Look at your cat. When they want to show affection, they lean, they purr, they sit next to each other. What they absolutely do not do is smash their open mouths together to exchange digestive fluids. We are the only animals on Earth that do this. And the reason why is deeply uncomfortable. If you really stop and think about it, kissing is disgusting. I don't mean that metaphorically, I mean it biologically. Your mouth is the beginning of your digestive tract. It is a dark, wet, incredibly warm cavern explicitly designed to break down dead organic matter. It is crawling with bacteria, millions of them. Over 700 different species of microbes call your oral cavity home. In a single 10-second kiss, you transfer approximately 80 million living bacteria into another person's mouth. You are effectively swapping a micro-ecosystem of germs, viruses, and biological waste. Every single self-preservation instinct in the human body should be screaming at you to run away. It is an evolutionary hazard. It is a mathematical nightmare. We are walking petri dishes pretending to be poets, and yet we call it a first date. We write songs about it. We build entire cinematic universes around the tension of when two people are finally going to mash their food intakes together. Why? Evolution is usually a genius. It is a ruthless optimization algorithm. It doesn't do things by accident. Every behavior that survives 100,000 years of natural selection survives because it provides a biological advantage. If it doesn't keep you alive, it gets deleted. So what is the advantage of swapping spit with another primate? Because here's the thing nobody tells you. Kissing is not universal. We assume everyone does it. We assume ancient cavemen were making out next to the fire while inventing the wheel. They weren't. Anthropologists looked at 168 different cultures across the globe. You know how many of them kissed romantically? 46%, less than half. In many traditional hunter-gatherer societies, if you tried to kiss someone on the lips, they would look at you like you were insane. Or they would assume you were trying to eat them. Because in the wild, an open mouth coming directly toward your face means one thing: predation. It means you are about to be meat. So, romantic kissing isn't a hardwired, universal human instinct like breathing or sweating. It is an invention, a learned behavior. But it evolved from something that is hardwired, something much older. Let's go back, not a few hundred years, millions of years. Before we were humans, before we walked upright, we were primates, and ancient primates had a problem. When primate babies are weaning off their mother's milk, they don't have the teeth or the digestive enzymes to break down tough, raw food. There were no blenders in the jungle. There was no mashed peas in little glass jars. So, how do you feed a baby? You chew the food yourself, you break it down, you mix it with your own saliva, which is packed with digestive enzymes, and then you pass it directly from your mouth into your baby's mouth. It is called kiss feeding. Chimpanzees do it. Birds do it. Our ancestors absolutely did it. For millions of years, the sensation of lips touching lips was biologically coded to mean one thing: you are safe, you are being fed, you are not going to starve. The evolutionary algorithm took a purely mechanical survival action. I am transferring calories into your digestive tract and wired it directly into the pleasure centers of the brain. Over time, the food disappeared, but the gesture remained. The touch of the lips became a symbol of comfort, of trust, of deep, primal intimacy. But that only explains part of it. That explains the physical touch. It does not explain the spit. It does not explain why human adults do it to choose a mate. To understand that, we have to look at the single most sophisticated piece of biological technology you possess: your immune system. But here's where it gets complicated. You can't see an immune system. You can't look at a potential mate from across a bar and know if their white blood cells are capable of fighting off a specific parasite, but you can smell it. Every human being has a unique set of genes called the major histocompatibility complex. The MHC. These genes determine how your immune system recognizes foreign invaders. And magically, bizarrely, your MHC genes influence how you smell. When animals choose a mate, they sniff each other. They do extensive olfactory background checks. They are looking for a mate with an immune system that is completely different from their own. Why? Because if you combine two different immune systems, your offspring will have a stronger, wider defense against disease. It is biological diversification. Humans are no different. We just pretend we are. We invented the Eskimo kiss, rubbing noses. We invented cheek nuzzling. Across almost every culture that doesn't kiss on the lips, they sniff. They press their faces together and inhale deeply. They are pulling chemical data from the sebaceous glands on the face. Romantic kissing is just sniffing on steroids. When you get close enough to kiss someone, you are crossing a biological boundary. You are entering their chemical aura. Your nose is pressed against their skin. You are inhaling their pheromones. Your brain is running a rapid, invisible calculation. Is this person healthy? Are their genes compatible with mine? Does their immune system complement mine? There is a famous experiment from the 1990s, the sweaty t-shirt study. Researchers had men wear a t-shirt for 2 days straight without deodorant. Then they put the shirts in boxes and had women smell them. The women universally preferred the smell of men whose MHC genes were the exact opposite of their own. Their brains literally coded genetic compatibility as "this smells good." When you kiss someone and suddenly feel the spark fade, when you say, "there was just no chemistry," you are being literal. Your brain ran the olfactory data and concluded that breeding with this person would result in genetically redundant offspring. You didn't lose interest. Your immune system vetoed the match. But we still haven't talked about the saliva, the wet kiss, the open mouth. Why swap fluids? This is where the science gets almost cynical. Saliva is not just water. It contains a cocktail of chemicals, proteins, and hormones, including testosterone. Men produce significantly more testosterone than women, and when a man kisses a woman, he is passing trace amounts of testosterone directly into her mucous membranes. Over time, repeated kissing transfers enough testosterone to temporarily raise her arousal levels. He is literally subconsciously doping her nervous system. He is transferring a chemical payload designed to increase the likelihood of reproduction. It is not romance, it is biological tampering. But women are running their own software during a kiss. Saliva contains traces of the man's genetic health. The chemical composition of his spit tells her body about his hormonal status, his stress levels, his overall biological fitness. She is taking a biological sample, a biopsy disguised as affection. And then there is the danger, the disease. This is the part that evolutionary biologists struggled with for decades. Even with the bonding, even with the immune system data, the risk of catching a lethal disease from swapping saliva should outweigh the benefits. 50,000 years ago, an infection could wipe out your entire tribe. You did not take biological risks for fun, unless catching the disease is the entire point. There is a virus called Cytomegalovirus, CMV. It is incredibly common. Most people get it, experience mild cold symptoms, and never think about it again. But if a woman catches CMV for the first time while she is pregnant, it is devastating. It can cause severe birth defects. It can end the pregnancy. But if she catches CMV before she gets pregnant, her body builds antibodies, she becomes immune, and the baby is completely safe. Some evolutionary biologists believe that romantic kissing evolved specifically to solve this problem. A man carries a specific strain of CMV. When he kisses a woman, he introduces that virus into her system in small, manageable doses. He is essentially giving her an oral vaccine. He is immunizing her against his specific microbial environment before she ever gets pregnant. You aren't making out, you are sharing a vaccination protocol. Let that sink in for a second. Every part of a kiss, from the physical touch to the smell to the saliva, is a highly calculated, deeply pragmatic biological transaction. It is an immune system data transfer, it is a hormonal manipulation, it is a targeted viral immunization, and we hid all of that machinery under the concept of love. So when did it become global? When did we decide this was the ultimate expression of romance? You can blame the Romans. The Romans didn't invent kissing, but they industrialized it. They had 3 distinct categories of kisses. The osculum, a kiss on the cheek for friendship. The basium, a kiss on the lips for affection. And the savium, the deep, passionate kiss. The Romans kissed their lovers, their family, their leaders. As their empire spread across the world, they brought their customs with them. They exported the romantic kiss to cultures that had never seen it before. From Rome to the rest of Europe, from Europe to global colonialism, from colonialism to Hollywood. We taught the world to mash their faces together, but the next time you find yourself leaning in, closing your eyes, and pressing your mouth against someone else's. Forget about Rome. Forget about the movies. Think about what you are actually doing. You are 2 apex predators. You're creatures armed with teeth and self-preservation instincts, living in a world that has tried to kill you for 300,000 years. And in that moment, you are choosing to lower every defense you have. You are exposing the most vulnerable part of your body, your airway, your throat, your mouth, to the teeth of another primate. You are turning off the alarm bells in your nervous system that scream at you to protect yourself from foreign biology. You are sharing the very breath that keeps you alive. It is the ultimate act of biological trust. It is not just a greeting. It is not just chemistry. It is a silent, ancient contract negotiated between your immune systems in the dark. You are doing what humans have always done. You are finding someone you trust enough to survive with.